Wednesday night's trip to Bayern Munich could be a moment where Arsenal turn to Gabriel Jesus for experience. It may also be a night where they turn away from him as a reliable option up front. The Brazilian forward is one of the few players in the Gunners squad with experience in the Champions League that predates this season, but does Mikel Arteta trust him enough for Arsenal's biggest game of the campaign? Jesus comes into the Bayern trip with 1 goal in his 7 Premier League matches in 2024, hardly the form needed for such a big venue like the Allianz Arena. Another wasteful display against Aston Villa raised more questions about whether centre-forward is a position that Arteta can improve on in the summer. That being said, Jesus has performed when required for Arsenal in the Champions League, with 4 goals and 3 assists in his 7 European matches this season, including a classy assist for Leandro Trossard in the first leg equaliser with Bayern. Yet there is still a dilemma over whether he or Kai Havertz is the best number 9 option on Wednesday. If Arteta goes with Jesus, the striker's Arsenal career is at a crossroads. A top performance would keep him as an important figure at the club. Anything else and he could be replaced this year. Sam Blitz. Could Spurs fans really be cheering on Arsenal against Bayern? After a dismal defeat at Newcastle on Saturday, Tottenham have slipped out of the top 4, and now their attention turns to the coefficient race in the hope for Champions League football. 5th place, which Spurs currently occupy, could well be enough for Champions League qualification if the Premier League gains an extra spot in next season's revamped competition. But at the moment Germany, 16.785, sit ahead of England, 16.750, in the race for the extra Champions League spot, with Wednesday's crunch game between Bayern Munich and Arsenal having a huge say in the coefficient landscape. Germany will probably need both Bayern and Bayer Leverkusen, who face West Ham in the Europa League quarter-finals, to go through to finish ahead of England. It leaves Spurs fans in an awkward position on Wednesday. Do they support their arch-rivals Arsenal in the hope it could help them earn Champions League football next season? Or do they get behind their former hero Harry Kane to end Arsenal's quest for a first European Cup? Can City produce another statement win over Real? Manchester City's win over Inter Milan in Istanbul last May may have been the match that finally secured their first Champions League title, but it was their 4-0 thrashing of Real Madrid in the semi-final second leg that was the most impressive of their campaign. After a 1-1 draw in the Bernabeu, featuring excellent goals from Vinicius Jr. and Kevin De Bruyne, City tore Real apart at the Etihad, dethroning the champions with a true show of force. Can Pep Guardiola's side repeat the trick on Wednesday? The similarities are there from the first leg, a 3-3 draw in Madrid that again featured several outstanding strikes. To do so, City will need to tighten up defensively. It may be harsh to criticize a side that have not lost in their last 27 games, but City have conceded 7 goals in their last 4 outings, many of them entirely avoidable. The 3 goals Real scored from an expected goals total of just 0.65 in the first leg shows just how deadly Carlo Ancelotti's side are. Guardiola will be desperate for his team to reassert their customary control in the second leg. If they are able to do so in front of what is likely to be a fired-up Etihad crowd, don't rule out City producing another statement performance as they bid to win a second straight treble. Joe Shred. History teaches us never to write off Liverpool. Awful result and performance, wrote Jamie Carragher after Liverpool imploded in the first leg of their Europa L.